Welcome back to Principles of Management class. In this class, we are going to discuss about the types of plan. In the previous plan class, we started the other types of planning like short-term plan, long-term plan, strategic planning, and all those things. In this class, we continue with the standing plan. So, what is standing plan? It is designed to deal with organizational issues or problems that recur frequently. So any issues or something problems which comes again and again are faced by the people or employees in the organization. So for this kind of situation, the standing plans are more suitable. So they include policies, that is the general guidelines that govern how certain organizational situations will be addressed. Okay, so like something someone is like example, a employee as an accident. So how to deal with that particular situation, like treatment or any compensation and all those things. So something like that, and procedures more specific and are designed to give explicit instruction on how to complete a recurring task. So procedure means like SOP, standard operating procedure. So say the same example, like any accident happened, how to deal with the accident. Like first they have to write a report. Okay, so it is accident is because of the employee carelessness, or it is not his carelessness. So like first seen a report, something like that, they have to this thing, then they have the step by step procedures. Then rules provide detailed and specific guidelines and the limits for the action. So the rules will give them the guidelines, like how to take action, or like something like disciplinary staff not coming, I mean, to the office properly and taking so many leaves, or like taking a leisure time during the tea break, extended tea break, something like that. So how to deal with that particular kind of staff who are not responsible. Okay, so that clear rules will be given to how to take a disciplinary action. So standing plans will I mean include policies, procedures, and rules for a problem or situation that will be occurring again and again on a regular basis. So policies board in scope, a general guide to action based on organization's overall goals and strategic plan. Defines boundaries within which to make decisions. So it will give the power to what extent or limit a particular staff has the power to take a decision or action. So here, drug-free example is drug-free work for place policies and sexual harassment policies. So how to deal with the sexual harassment, and how to make the organization a drug-free or alcohol-free workplace. Next one, rules are narrow in scope, describes how a specific action is to be performed. It may apply for a specific settings or situations. Again, example, non-smoking rule in areas of plant where hazardous materials are stored, like I mean, like where the gases are stored, or even like a petroleum punk and all. It's a smoke-free area. So those are the like examples of rules. And then the procedure, sometimes called a standard operating procedure. It defines precise series of steps to attain certain goals. This one is more in detail. Okay, like step by step process, like how to attain a goal and something like that. Examples, procedure for issuing refund. Okay, so if the in case a customer, I mean, return the product due to the reason it's they are not satisfied, so how to go ahead with the refund to the customer, that will be an example. Procedure for handling employee grievances, so any complaints from the employee side, how to handle, like the step by step. So all these are examples of a procedure. The next is a single use plan. These plans are developed to address a specific organizational situation. Like other standing plan, it's like a recurring problem or regular situation. These are like a yeah, like a special occasions are usually, these are not occurring often in the situation, like once in a while or never happen again also. So programs govern a relatively comprehensive set of activities that are designed to accomplish a particular set of goals. So projects direct the efforts of individual or work groups towards achievement of specific well-defined objectives. So sometimes organizations have project outside their organization. So these projects like one time in the life. So after once that done, then the plan will not be used again for any other project. So that one particular plan is only for the particular project. Budget specify how financial resources should be allocated. So planning of budget for a particular program or project. So this budget may not be useful for the other kind of future projects and all those things. So that's why it is called a single use plan. Here again, a programs plan for attaining a one-time organizational goal, major undertaking that may be several years to complete, like 3 to 5 years. Large in scope may be associated with several projects. An example, building a new headquarters. So headquarters will be built like once in a lifetime. So that will be a project which is a long-term project. So they do the planning. This planning may not be useful for the future because they are not going to construct again a second time an headquarters. Converting all paper files to digital. That is like a upgradation of the system from hard copy to soft copy. That is converting all the files to go online digitalization. That's scanning all the files and putting on the system. So this is also like done in a while, once in a while only. After that, I mean, yeah, the same thing will not be done. So these are the examples of a single use plan programs. Then project, also a set of plans for attaining one time goal, smaller in scope and complexity than a program, shorter time horizon. So this one has a narrow scope or smaller scope, and it is not very complex. That's why it's not very difficult, and the duration is a very short term, maybe 1 week or 1 month, something like that. Often one part of a larger program, maybe it be subdivided division of a particular project. Then renovating the office, like in the program we have seen building a headquarter, new headquarter. Here just a small office is renovated. Setting up a company intranet, that as you know, intranet means it's a uh, I mean, area where they have interaction. Internet means like with the outside internet for a company with its outside, what do you say, stakeholders like suppliers, distributors, and all those things. So their company is connected through the intranet. So setting up a company newly intranet is an example of a project. So these are the examples of a single use plan. So this I mean, like a planning may not be useful in the future. That's why we say it's like not for a recurring, it's like a one time happening. These plans are done. So these plans may not be useful again in the future situation. So the next type of plan is a contingency planning. So, as the name, highlights contingency. Contingency means something like emergency or something like in a bad situation or a different situation, the planning is done. It requires the development of two or more plans. So that's why we say plan A, plan B. So when a company do a plan A, when the situation changes, okay, so what happened? We switch on to the plan B. So that plan B is can be considered as a contingency plan. So each of this, which is based on different set of strategic or operating conditions that could occur. So what happens? What happens if we are expecting financial crisis in next 6 months in the country? So that will be plan B. If no financial crisis, if the if the economic situation in the country was going good, then we will follow the A. Or as per the economics anticipation, if the crisis occurs, plan B. So that is called a contingency plan. As I told you, there may be two or more than two. It may be plan A, plan B, and plan C also, if necessary. So when is contingency planning needed? Necessary in business environment that change rapidly and is in unpredictable way. As we I know that business environment is very dynamic in nature. It keep changes. So the factors of business environment are like a political factor, technical factor, socio-cultural factor, economical factor, and technological factors. So, if political party changes in the country, the political factor may change and it may affect the business. So, what happens, and financial also, like see the current situation due to the COVID-19 situation, things are going from bad to worse. So, what happens? It affects the politics, it affects the finance. So, the businesses are rethinking of how to cope up this situation. So what happens, so for this kind of situation, okay, which is political come financial one, so what happens, this contingency plan will be very useful, as we know that as I mentioned earlier that business environment is very dynamic, and the businesses has to expect all the unexpected, okay, so unpredicted things. Useful when a firm's effectiveness is dependent on a particular set of business conditions. So it is understood that even though we are at the internal level very strong, okay, so still business has to depend upon the external, because all these things, our competitors, our customers, political, technological, socio-cultural, uh, all these things are factors are outside. So it has a lot of effect in our business. So a business has to understand, and these conditions are tend to changing. Then individual plans. Increasingly, organizations are looking for ways to translate broader organizational plans to the level of individual employees. Two approaches for doing so include. So, what happens now? We have seen at the strategic level, which is a strategic plan. Then at the business level, then we look at the planning at the individual level. Then we also discuss about like proactive plan and reactive plans. Okay, so that is for a company, okay, at the top level and bottom level. This is at a departmental in a particular individual level. So two approaches for doing includes management by objective, that is a MBO. So this is very, when you discuss about planning, it is a planning is incomplete if we don't learn about MBO, a method for developing individualized plan which guides the activities of an individual, creates a participatory work environment where employees have a voice in design of their jobs and setting their performance targets. Here, a manager or a supervisor, okay, is trying to link individual goal of organization with that of the department, and thereby the strategic goal of the organization. So by linking the departmental goal with the individual goal, so what happens, you try to create an equilibrium. So what happens, so here the output is like both individual is benefited, and also the department as well as the organization is benefited. It is like a win-win situation. So once when they link, what happens, the it is done through the process of like setting the goals, okay, by discussing that with the particular individuals, knowing the individuals plus and minus. So what happens if you set the goal, okay, by discussion and by with the what is that, with the particular person who is going to achieve, then they particular person will take responsibility to ensure that particular goals are achieved. So the targets are achieved by discussing with their subordinate. So as I told you, it is done by a supervisor or manager by meeting with their subordinate. So it is linked, the particular individual goal is linked with that of the departmental goal. So it's not only that things are done goal, but even the monitoring also happens. Same like the how the planning is done for the another type of planning also. This is a very effective, okay, which motivate. This is also MBO is also a motivational method in organizations for their staff, a way to motivate their staff. Okay, when we give importance for the staff in decision making by including them in I mean fixing their targets and all those things, we all empowering the staff. So when we empower the staff, it is a motivation. Okay, so they put their heart and soul to ensure that whatever is planned is implemented, because they are part and parcel of their decision making. So empowering decision making, including the staff, is a part of the or essence of the MBO, management by objectives. Then the balance scorecard, a system, a wide performance measurement process that aligns individual goal with the strategic goal of the organization. This is somewhat similar to the MBO, where individual person's goals are aligned in that of with the strategic goals of the organization. Then next we will discuss about the decision making. So what is decision making? Decision making is the act of choosing one alternative from among a set of alternatives. So what happens? Not only in organization, even in our personal life, decision making is plays a very important role or vital role. Okay, people success depends upon the whether they take the right decision or wrong decision. In I mean, in what do you say? In identifying the program we want to study, choosing the organization where we want to work, I mean, living in the city, choose the city where we want to live, okay, the person who we are going to marry. So all these things, in even in our personal life, decisions are very important. Decision making capacity is a very important what is a skill for a person, and it determines a professional as well as personal success also. So people need to see the I mean alternatives or choices they have to choose the right choice, a suitable choice for them, which they are happy to do, which they have the right skills and knowledge to do, which they have the resources to do. So that is the definition for decision making. That's the act of choosing one alternative from among a set of alternatives. So for today's class, we will finish with that. We will continue with the decision making in our next class. Okay. Thank you.